Welcome back to the Hardcore Fab Shop. I am Anthony Bronner. On today's video, we are back to work on hookers and blow, and I think by the end of the video here, we are going to have a roller. I think I might even sneak the cab back on there real quick, and we'll see what that looks like. So stick around. I'll catch you guys up on all the stuff that's been happening since you guys seen it last. So yeah, we've got a ton of work done on this thing. A lot of it though ends up being a lot of repetitive welding, grinding, that sort of thing. And I think it's a little bit more interesting just to show you guys kind of the final product and all that. You've seen me cover all of the ways we put together all the brackets and stuff on the front end, and you even seen me make the front end on the last couple of videos back. So let's just skip ahead now to what this thing looks like with the rear end hanging in it. And I'll show you all the products that I use to be able to hang it. And we'll also go over like the wheels and tires and sizes and all that sort of stuff and get you guys all set up to do it yourself. So I'm gonna grab the camera and we'll just start walking around it and go piece by piece. Alright, so if you guys caught the last video where we were working on the arms, you probably saw these spacers in there. Now, I'm running a spacer up here in the front for one reason, and that is because we started out with a 3/4 ton single wheel axle in the front. Now, for us to be able to run the bud wheel, you actually have to space this bolting flange on out a little bit, so that's where our 3 inches comes into play, and that allows us to actually put that bud wheel on this axle. Now, some of you guys are probably wigged out a little bit by some spacers, especially on the front or whatever. I'm really not concerned about it. It's going to be a pretty lightweight truck. We're not hauling huge loads with it or anything. And it's a billet piece of aluminum. It's got 9/16 studs in it. I mean, it's not like we're talking about 4-bolt Honda with like a 10mm bolt in it or whatever those things run. I have no idea. But anyways, big beefy stuff. I actually think it might even be stronger than our wheel if we were to actually run into something with it. So I'm not stressing over it at all. Now, I did get this off eBay. I will put links to it and all the rest of these products down below. This wheel here is a ion wheel. I actually got it off of eBay as well. It's a 17-inch. I don't remember the part number, but it'll be in the description. And the tire is a 245 45/17, which is a pretty small tire, but that helps us with that whole cartoony look that we're going for with this thing. The little tiny tire in the front, big giant semi tires in the back. Totally digging it, loving the way it's looking. Next on the list, we've got the motor installed in there. I did run into a little bit of problem right there that I was not anticipating. If you can see, well, I'll just show you a little bit closer here. Right here are the tubes that actually have the water coming out of them for the heater hoses. And I had to actually cut those off with the Sawzall because they were hitting right there on that arm. My bad on that deal. I kind of screwed that up because originally when I first set this up, they were fine. But then I decided to move the motor over to the passenger side, give myself a little bit more leg room and stuff inside the cab. Since I scooted it over those couple inches, there went the couple inches clearance that I had for those to be able to put a hose back on there. So still have to figure that stuff out a little bit right there. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to even run a stock water pump with the blower and everything anyways, so I have that to all figure out anyways. I was really kind of hoping to have a heater, but we'll see how it all plays out and kind of go from there, I guess, and just play that one by ear. So before we get back here to the rear end, I got to show you guys something here real quick. These plates down here that hold the cab on and our little rocker guard and all that kind of stuff, I just had those tacked. And I went ahead and let Connor weld those. He's only been welding for just a few months. He's only had one partial ag class in school. So you guys got to check out these welds. This is pretty impressive for somebody that's only 16 and hardly any experience. Those look darn nice. I wish I was doing that good when I was his age. I don't think I was. So props to him on that. And speaking of Connor, he's also got our rear end all cleaned up. He stripped all the brackets off of there and cleaned up the tubes and everything and got those all ready to weld our brackets on. So the brackets on the rear end are my design, of course. It's a 4-link setup that has a panhard bar to center it. And I've got them sitting here kind of as a drag car style setup at the moment. There's a ton of adjustability in these things. I'll be able to adjust it out to do pretty much whatever it is I plan on doing with the truck. So that leaves me lots of options there down the road. Now, for the 4-link bars, I've got chromoly rod ends on those. Those are actually chromoly rod ends that we sell on our eBay store, so we'll put you a link to those in the description down below as well. These are a 3/4 inch shank with a 5/8 bolt in them. We've got a bunch of other sizes on there too if you guys are interested, just an FYI. We sell the bungs, the nuts, the whole 9 yards. Now for the bags are also the same 2,600 pound bags like they are on the front. They've got about 7 inches of stroke, I think is what they have in them. So still gives us plenty of ability to raise, lower this thing and have plenty of room, ride height to do whatever we want to do. All right, so one of the funnest things for me back here personally are these big adapters. I've wanted a set of these for a really long time, but I never had a good excuse to buy them. But we've got a good excuse now. So what these things do is they actually allow us to adapt over from our standard 8 on 6.5 Chevy bolt pattern over to a 10 lug semi bolt pattern. So we can get the big 22.5s back here on the back of it. I want to get these things stuck on here real quick, see what they look like, because I think it's going to look pretty sick. That was close. Like we almost stripped those little tiny studs off with our big giant impact here. Anyway, what do you guys think? I think those look pretty cool on there. These are a Alcoa. They're a 22.5. They're off of a semi, of course, and they're actually a reject because this one right there has a big crack in it. Now, obviously, on a semi, DOT guy seen that, he's going to shut them down and freak out, right? So they had to take that off of there, and it's still a pretty nice wheel. And for my truck, I'm gonna have like a 3,000 pound truck with 1,000 pounds of wheels and tires across the back of it, so it's gonna be perfectly fine. I could probably cut out, you know, a couple whole sections of this wheel and not even think about it and still be perfectly fine. So pretty excited to have that one. And the other one on the other side now for mock-up, but I do need to still find a couple more to be able to put on it for the outside ones. So we'll try to find a couple really nice ones for those to put on there, and hopefully we'll get those pretty quick. So for the rear tires, my cousin Trent hooked me up, and we have got a 255/70 22.5. Now these things are a recap, so that helped a little bit on the price, and then he hooked me up and got me a little bit better price too, so that was pretty awesome. I think they're going to have a good look to them as far as the height of the sidewall and everything. These are pretty low pro even for a low pro 22.5, so I think they're going to work out really great. I'm going to roll one up here against this front tire and see how crazy it looks against it. So if that doesn't give us our cartoon look, then I don't know what's going to do it. So this one was a new one for me. This backing plate was all rusted off the back there on the rear end on the 14 bolt, and no big deal there, so I told Connor to just pull that off. Don't need that really anyways for what we're doing. But while I was pulling it off, we found this big giant crack here in this arm, or this bracket. Now this is where you put the top bolt in for your caliper. There's where your bottom bolt goes. So you've only got this little teeny tiny piece here left holding the whole top of the caliper on. It's kind of crazy to think about, especially if you pull big heavy loads like I do a lot of times with one of these 14 bolts, because that's what's in the back of all my trucks. That's from like 99 to 2010-ish, I think, or something like that. So if you guys got one of those, you're doing a great job. Well, you ought to check that. All right, so last video I had a bunch of people that were commenting on the angle of the bag there, and they were concerned that it was going to be a problem down the road, or maybe it's just here real quick like or whatever. This is ride height right here, and it's sitting at about 13 degrees, 12 degrees, somewhere in that neighborhood. And I've got a piece of 2x4 square tubing down there on the floor. It's a drop from our frame. And our ride height underneath the belly of this thing is going to be at 4 inches. So that's our angle of our bag at ride height. We've also, you can see that our bolts are in line there on our arms. Our arms are parallel top to bottom and equal length, and our bolt holes are all in line right there. So I'm pretty happy with the way all that turned out. Don't think any of that is going to be an issue at all. And yes, there may be a little bit more of a wear factor or less life expectancy out of that bag by having a little bit of angle to it, but I don't think it's going to amount to much at all, especially considering how much more effort that it would take to be able to go ahead and build in some kind of a pivoting head on there with an arm to control the bag from kicking out and all that, plus the extra height that would all add. I don't think it's worth it. So that's the reason why I've got it set up like this. And the only time that's really going to see that big crazy angle is maybe if I'm trying to get it unstuck somewhere, if I happen to get stuck somewhere, which at 4 inches I don't think that's really that big of a deal. Or probably a more likely scenario when I'm trying to load it on my trailer, because my trailer sits pretty high, and the little braking point there at the back of the trailer, it'd be really nice to have that little bit extra height for going up that, and that's going to be for like a 20 seconds. So not that big of a deal. Not worried about the angle on the bag.
What's up, everyone? I'm Julie. I'm Anthony's wife, and I showed up at work today wearing the Hardcore Fab OG Hookers and Blow t-shirt. So Anthony said, why don't you do the shout out video this week? So here we go. Why not? If I'm going to pick out a small deserving YouTube channel to spread the love, I'm going to pick somebody from my own subscription list, and I choose Steel Rubber Products. Steel Rubber Products is the one who sponsored one of our sponsors of Old Crow. They provided us with the rubber and weather stripping and felt and gaskets for the windows and doors and everywhere on the vehicle to make it that just that final touch to make it look more professional and not rattle like a tin can going down the road. So we are grateful to them for their products. They are ultra nice people, super easy to work with. I highly recommend them. They're a small family-owned company located here in the United States, and they make their own products. And they've agreed to sponsor us for Hookers and Blow. So be looking forward to those videos coming up in the near future from them as well. And go over and check out their YouTube channel, because there they have installation tips and tricks and installation videos and more information about all of their products, because they carry a lot more than just stuff for your hot rod or rat rod. They also have everything you may need for your RV and your boat and other vehicles. So please go check them out. And while I've got your attention, I want to remind you guys that we are getting close to 8,000 subscribers. And when we hit 8,000 subscribers, we are going to be giving away another Hardcore Fab Hookers and Blow t-shirt from our Teespring store, or any shirt from our Teespring store, honestly. If you go over there, you can check out all of our merchandise. I'm uploading new products, at least weekly. So go check them out. And just like Scott Rickard won at 7,000 subscribers, we will be choosing a winner at 8,000 subscribers from the comments. You must be a subscriber and you must comment on the video where we hit the 8,000 subscribers. We're close, so it could happen on this video, maybe the next one, but it will be very soon. We'll be hitting that 8,000 and we will be choosing our winner. So share this video with your friends. Let's get up to that 8,000 subscriber mark, and maybe this shirt will be yours. Good luck.
All right, so for all you guys that stuck around till the end, here's your prize. What do you guys think? I think it looks badass. Even at ride height, that thing is sick. So it's gonna look really sick when it's all the way down to the ground. Can't wait to be doing some burnouts in this thing. Shoot, I'd even be happy to just do a little bit of more work to it, but I'm gonna have to do that for you guys in the next video, because this one is through. So if you guys think I've earned it, do me a favor, hit the thumbs up button down below the video. And also, if you would, hit that subscribe button with the little bell next to it. Hit that bell as well, because you're going to want to get notifications of when the next video comes out, because we're going to be back to work on this thing, and it's going to look even sicker next time. So we'll see you then.